If you're not healthy at 30, you're an old man or an old woman. If you're healthy at 60, you're a young man or a young woman. I guess that's provided you don't chain smoke cigars. Anyway, the man I'm going to talk about today is Joe Pilates. Pilates was born in Germany in 1883. And like many of the people I've studied and whose methods I've used in my own training, Pilates was a sick child, asthma, rickets, rheumatic fever. And I think it was through this that he realized that health was really the greatest thing. So he began studying bodyweight exercise, boxing, Chinese martial arts. And as he grew older, he moved to England from Germany. And there he became a self-defense instructor for the British Police Department, Scotland Yard. And then World War I came along. And like many Germans, Joe Pilates was put in an internment camp. Now, in this camp, he had no access to barbells, weights, any kind of that resistance. So he started to develop bodyweight exercises. And he told the other people in that camp, listen, if you do these exercises with me, you'll come out of this place stronger than when you went in. Well, during that period, there was the influenza, the flu, and it killed a lot of people. And through these exercises and his general training in health, Joe Pilates kept a lot of the people in the internment camp alive. When he came out of that camp, he had pretty well developed a system that he called controlology, which was the control of the body, the awareness of movement, the precision of breath. He was a big, big man on breathing. In fact, he said the greatest crime we commit is forgetting how to breathe as we get older and it comes up into the chest. Because as far as he was concerned, breathing was the glue that held everything else together, every other movement. He went on to move to New York City and he developed the Pilates method. And there he put together a lot of machines, of which I've used. I studied Pilates for a couple of years. And his reformer, which looks like a bed with springs pushing back and forth. His Cadillac, which I used to use to do chin-ups on, but was for the upper body. All these machines were developed with the idea of control. One of the things that Pilates stressed was the precision of movement, the fluidity, flowing from one exercise to the next, but doing each exercise properly. When you go to a gym now, any gym, and you see people banging up and down with curls or pushing, doing their 8 reps and spending whatever time they spend in the gym. If Joe Pilates was watching them, he'd say, you're wasting your time. If you do one set of that exercise with complete bodily awareness, it's worth 4 sets. Well, it's worth more than 4 sets of doing nothing, because doing nothing is junk. I'm going to read a couple. I have in my book, Real Strength Now, I have a chapter on Joe Pilates, as I do on other people who influenced me. And I'll just read a couple of pieces from him. Well, one of them, I'm looking at it right now. Faulty breathing is the basic cause of ill health. This is about exercise, concentration. You have to concentrate on what you're doing all the time. And you must concentrate on your entire body for smooth movement. Everything with Pilates flowed into the next thing. Nothing about the Pilates method is haphazard. The reason you need to concentrate so thoroughly is that so you can be in control of every aspect of every movement. That not only applies to the Pilates method, it applies to yoga, to weight training, to sport, to tennis, to boxing. Awareness. Control is enabled by conscious breath. And control means fewer accidents, fewer falls in the house, fewer injuries in the gym. Awareness. Centering. The center of the body is the powerhouse. This is really interesting to me because what trainers talk about now, and other people, I do core training. The powerhouse is the core of the body. That was what Pilates termed the core. What was it? The abdomen, the lower and the upper back, the gluteus maximus, which is the butt, and the adductor muscles of the thighs. Basically, the core of the body is anything beyond the arms and the legs. It's the part of the body, including the back, the spine, the back muscles, that keep us upright and keep us walking. Economy of movement. Fluidity requires relaxation, and relaxation is a product of controlled breathing. Precision. Concentrate on the correct movements each time you exercise. And finally, about breathing. Breathing is vital to all training, and Pilates calls it, quote, bodily house cleaning with blood circulation. Well, what I've done is I've taken a lot of the methods and the principles of Pilates training and applied to my own work. The stuff I do, my method is an eclectic method. But at the heart of it, as at the heart of all Pilates, was breathing, complete diaphragmatic breathing using the pelvic floor. Now, I remember I talked about the cigars in the beginning. Another thing Joe liked to say is you should be in your prime in your 70s and not even think about old age till you're near 100. He probably could have done it, but Joe had one weakness. He was a chain cigar smoker. And I think he died at about 83. That's what I know of Joe Pilates.